Hey everyone, I am joined here with the core chart guys team of analysts, Jungle Funk Joey, chart guys Lamont, and of course Lori. And we're going to talk in this video briefly about things that we learned in 2023. We're into a new year here and we want to reflect back on the lessons learned and take those things and apply them to our future going forward to ensure that we can not have the same mistakes and capitalize on opportunities. So, Joey, why don't you start us off? What did you learn in 2023?
Thanks, Sam. Biggest thing that I learned in 2023 is related to how I implement the stair-step strategy into my trading. In a little background, I used to pretty much exclusively scale into positions. And in 2020, when I began trading futures, I learned that I cannot scale into those due to the leverage. So that's when I started really experimenting with candle break entries and stair-step entries, and it's kind of been a saga since then that I continued to get honed in further. And in my end of year review last year, I found that most of my failed stair steps came in a situation where it ended up working on the second attempt or the third attempt. So going into 2023, I set a hard rule that if I'm going to take a stair step entry, I need to open myself up to taking at least 2 attempts and no more than 3 attempts, because the last thing you want to do is just keep failing at it and failing at it. And ultimately, that increased the hit rate of getting into the trades that I want to get into. So when you combine your multiple time frame analysis to let you know when you're in a zone to be looking to take these stair step entries, then I give it 2 to 3 attempts and found that that was a game changer and kept me from trying to one and done it and ultimately end up stopping out right at the low or something like that. So 2023 has been all about honing it in and identifying better locations to take stair steps, better conditions for those trades to work on out. And the main thing I'm finding is it's just EMAs on larger time frames. So if I'm looking for a 15-minute high or low, I'm watching that 15-minute 12 EMA. And then when we come down to it, I'll take that first stair step off of the test and give myself 2 to 3 attempts at it. And more often than not, it's getting the trade off the ground. And that has been a game changer. And really, the biggest thing about it is that it allows me to get more size on versus having to scale in and only getting 1 or 2 scales and being smaller sized. I'd rather take big size, put it in on 1, 2, or 5 minute stair step, get my risk out of the equation, and then see if that can stick.
So for those looking for more information on stair steps, if you search Chart Guys Stair Step, a video will come up going over that strategy in depth. And Joey, what's the name of the webinar where you went over that? Was it the third one you did?
Yeah, it was the third webinar, and it is called The Best Entry Techniques.
All
So
right.
there's a playlist on the YouTube channel called Joey Webinars, and all 4 of them are in there. But that is the
Perfect.
third one that goes into the trading tools.
Thank you very much. How about you, Lamont? Lessons from 2023.
I learned that I can jump on these calls and learn all of y'all's lessons for free. So that's why I'm here.
Perfect.
Nah. In 2023, I think the biggest thing for me, and it was honestly closer towards the end of the year when I was doing my end of year review and realizing that one of the things that I set out to do probably more than a year ago, honestly, I thought I would commit to it in 2023, but I didn't, was swinging the futures. I realized the problem was that I was focusing too much on the tactics because I'm very comfortable trading the open, playing the open to the next daytime frame reference. That's a really good play, but I was being too myopic with it. And so the adjustment that I've made recently, which has been great, is focusing much more on the context. So making sure that I understand the implications of the daily time frame so that I can actually hammer those open trades really hard. And then that has the potential for me to hold on to it for, longer, for more than one day. It was actually when we were doing our best trades of 2023 that I realized, man, I really haven't hammered a futures trade since a swing trade since August. And I was like, that was, I set out in 2023 to do that. And I would say only a handful of times that I actually managed to do so, and everything else I was just day trading. So made the adjustment today, and it was really great. From not just from an execution perspective, but like from like a PL, whatever, from a comfortability, like because I recognize that I'm playing for this bigger picture thing. every decision is a lot easier. When you're in the weeds trading the open, it's so tactically focused that it's much more frenetic. The energy, you're a lot less certain, right? Because you're playing for what's right in front of you as opposed to what the bigger picture is. So focusing more on strategy and context as opposed to execution and tactics is my biggest lesson from this year.
And so that's essentially you're turning a day trade into a swing trade by exiting a partial amount. Do you do that strategy similar to me?
Yeah, I still do that. Yeah, I always do that, right? Like what Mark Douglas said about, he said he recommended that traders try like just putting your orders above a level and then your stops under that level for 20 times and then just letting it ride. That's always stuck with me, right? Because I think what he said was that traders will benefit greatly from knowing the feeling of being risk free. And so that's always stuck with me. That's always something that you preach as well. And so I always do that. But now I'm going to be a lot pickier about when I do that. And another added benefit of this is that for my tactics when I'm day trading, I always trade with the direction of value. If value is continuing to move lower for intraday trades, I trade with that direction. But there are some times when you're going to be aggressive and go against the direction that value is moving, and that is based on the daily chart, the daily context. So today I bought ES, even though value is moving lower, because we're again testing this area that's held a few times as a major point of control.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Hey, Lori, how about you? What have you learned?
I have learned to be more aggressive in high conviction trades. This is my 8th year of trading, and I wouldn't say that I would have told 6-year Lori to do this, but I'm here now at this part of my journey that when you step up to the plate and you see your pitch, swing and swing hard. And I believe SMB Capital has that in there for you when you walk in. They really preach that. So also getting that asymmetrical risk to reward, getting it more positive. That UNH trade that I recently took where I risked $5 for $30, that's new for me. Swinging, and I know you've been going through this, Dan, swinging this year is new for you too. So just trying to get comfortable with that. And I can have a lower win rate as long as that risk to reward is more asymmetric and favorable. Then I could have a win rate below 50% and still be profitable.
Awesome. I would say for me, just further solidifying the focus on the charts and the technicals and away from the narratives and away from the fundamentals. When we started 2023, we were looking for a potential bottom, looking for that longer term 4-month higher low. And everybody was so bearish and so pessimistic. And just to be able to look beyond that and say, well, wait a minute, there's a scenario here where we could set this longer term higher low and see some upside. And also just seeing things like with inflation running away, this is not necessarily 2023, but recently inflation going wild and the metal's not really responding. Just so many fundamental curveballs being thrown in the market the last 3 years. So essentially for me, it was just a solidifier of, yes, stick with the charts more than the fundamentals. That's been working. And that is my takeaway to keep doing that in 2024 and beyond. So I appreciate
disregarding
Go ahead.
Disregarding the narrative, you did that well with TLT. You called that out a lot this year. Everybody was trying to call a bottom, and you disregarded, said the charts haven't told you that it's a bottom. So that was a good call.
That was. Thank you for the reminder. Great. So I appreciate you all stopping by, and for those of you that are maybe seeing some of these wonderful faces for the first time or not familiar with them, you'll be seeing their content a lot more. Explore our YouTube channel. Joey's going to be doing the crypto updates. Lamont's got his swing trade, swing report updates, and Lori with the pre-game and daily NCAP review. Thanks, everyone. Hope you all have a great 2024.
Thanks, y'all. Later.